If you want to see the best trade manager for MT4 and MT5, then here it is. So if you've been using MT4 MT5 as your trading platform, you will know just how difficult it is to enter your trades at a set risk. So for example, if you want to risk 1% of your account on a trade, it's very difficult to do that inside of the platform. You normally have to use third-party tools, third-party calculators to try and find out what lot size you need to be using. But let me show you just how easy it is to do inside of Trade Manager. So here we have risk percentage and we have risk dollar amount. Now you can use any of these to set your risk inside the Trade Manager. I'm just going to leave my risk on 1%, and then I'm going to press R on my keyboard, which is a shortcut, and that will bring up the risk to reward tool. And now if I move my stop loss, the lot size is automatically changed and it's always kept to 1%. And then when I'm ready to enter a trade, I just press on the confirm, press OK, and that trade will be entered at exactly 1% risk. I know many of you will be trading prop firm accounts, trying to get funded, and this trade manager has many tools to make your life easier. For example, it has max daily drawdown limits. You can limit how many trades you have open, and you can stop yourself from over trading. So in this video, I'm going to go over all of the features of the trade manager, break it all down for you and show you exactly what it can do. Now, before I continue, if you want to try the trade manager for free for 7 days, there will be a link down in the description. Go to the user guide of this trade manager and you will be able to find the 7-day trial. I will also put a link directly to the trade manager so that if you want it, you can go and get it. So let's go ahead with the video. So on the first tab, the trade tab, you can set your risk by percent or by a dollar amount. So if I wanted to just risk, for example, $600, then I can set that. And as you saw, the lot size changed. It's automatically only risk $600. If I click on the risk to reward tool, that brings up the visual tool. And this just makes it super easy to enter trades. So below that, you can set different trading types. Another cool feature is that you can actually set your stop loss and your take profit in not just in price, but also in pips. So for example, if I want a 20 pip stop loss, I can type 20 pips. And if I want a 40 pip TP, I can just click 40 pips. And as you can see, it automatically changes my stop loss and take profit. And then I can go ahead and enter the trade. If I want to use a fixed RR instead, so for example, I want my trade to be a 3 RR, I can simply just type in 3 here, and that will automatically set my TP to be at 3 RR. Then I can go ahead and just enter the trade. Let's now move on to the Manage tab, and I'll show you all of the things that you can do inside of the Trade Manager. So on the Manage tab, you have all of your managed settings. Now, before you can use any of these settings, you need to make sure that you tick the one that you want, and that will mean that it's been enabled. But the first one is max daily loss. So let's go into the loss settings. And as you can see, you can set a max daily loss based on percentage or based on a money value. So if I put max daily loss and I put 5%, when that daily loss gets reached, all of the trades will be closed. Now, if your prop firm says that 5% is your max daily loss, you probably want to enter something like 4.5%. Make sure you give yourself a little bit of room so that if you have slippage, you're not going to breach your account. And then you can choose what action you can do once this value is reached. So I can choose to block new trades, or I can choose to just close all of the current trades. Moving on, you have the daily reset time. So here you can set a specific time that your daily loss resets. If we now go back to the main panel, you have your max daily profit. This basically works in the exact same way as the max daily loss, but it's now for your profit. So many prop firms will have consistency rules. They might say things like you can't make more than 2% in a day, or you may just want to limit the amount of profit that you make so that you can stay within consistency rules. So you might set a max daily profit of, let's say, 2%. And now when your trades hit that 2% mark, they're all going to be closed, and that's going to keep you inside of that max daily profit. The next settings that we have is max open trades. So if I only ever want, let's say, a maximum of 3 trades open at one time, if I try to open another fourth trade using the trade manager, then that is going to be blocked because I've set max open trades to 3. Just a quick note before I continue and move on. Your trades will only be managed when the trade manager is actually running. So to use the settings, make sure that the trade manager is running in the background somewhere, and then all of these settings will take place. Right, the next thing that we have is auto break even. So let's say you're in the trade and you want your trades to automatically go to break even after, let's say, 1 RR. You could just do that, tick it, and now all of your open trades will go to break even when the RR reaches 1. And you can also use pips instead of RR. Next up, we have trailing stop. So here, your trailing settings, you have trailing start, trailing step, and trailing distance. So let me explain what each one does. So trailing start, this is how far in profit does your trade have to be before your trailing stop comes into effect. So for example, if I've set this to 10 pips, what that means is when my trade is in 10 pips of profit, now my trailing stop is going to take effect. Trailing step is how often does your trailing stop loss move. So if I set this to 5 pips, what this now would do is after 10 pips of profit, the trailing stop loss would move. And then after 15 pips of profit, it would move again. After 20 pips of profit, it would move again. So every 5 pips, trailing stop will be moved. And then the trailing distance, that is how far behind current price does your trailing stop loss lag behind. So for example, leaving it on auto, if my stop loss is 20 pips and I leave it on auto, that is going to keep the trailing stop loss always at 20 pips behind the current price. That's the trailing stop settings. If we now go back, and the next setting is auto screenshots. So a lot of you out there will want to take screenshots of your trades. This is always good for journaling purposes. Now here you can set when to automatically take screenshots. So for example, you can send a screenshot when the order is opened, when your pending orders are placed, or maybe when your trades are closed or modified. And those screenshots, they will appear inside of the MetaTrader data folder under file. So here is really good to automatically capture your trades at key moments. The next setting is task scheduler. Now this one is really good because you can set certain actions to take place at different times on different days. So for example, I might choose to want to close all of my trades that are in profit, and I want to close them at, let's say, 2 p.m. and I want to do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I can click add, and then as you can see, that will put a task inside of my scheduler. So now every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. it's going to close all of my GBP USD trades that are in profit for me. So I don't have to do anything. And there's many actions that you can do. For example, you can choose to cancel pending orders. You can choose to close all of your losses and things like that. So let's now move on to the next one, which is trading restrictions. This one is going to be key if you find yourself struggling to stop over trading. So here you can set a maximum amount of trades that you can place per month, per week, per day, per hour. So for example, if you want to limit yourself to just 2 trades per hour, you could put in 2 trades per hour, tick the box, tick trade restrictions. And now, as you can see, because I've placed more than 2 trades in the last hour, it has now restricted the trading. So if I go to enter another trade, it will say trading has been restricted, and it will make me wait for that extra hour. So once again, this is going to be really key to stop you from over trading. That is the trade restrictions. So let's now go back and go to the manage pendings. So here we can manage our pending settings. Now this one is what I really like to use, especially this first option, close pending orders if the bid or ask price equals TP. So for example, as you can see, I've got a pending order here, right? So what if this trade never comes down to my order and instead it goes straight up and hits my TP? Well, then I will want my pending order to be cancelled because that means that the trade is no longer valid. So if I was to tick this top setting, that is exactly what would happen. It would close this pending order if price goes to my take profit. Now you have other settings here. So for example, you can choose to close all of your orders when price moves maybe 10 pips away from your pending order. So this just makes it easy to manage your pending orders and have them cancelled depending on certain criteria. The next setting that we have is auto TP. Now for auto TP, you can automatically set different take profits in pips. So for example, if I choose to set TP1, TP2, and let me just get rid of this order, and I want to open up a market order. Right, now let's just say, for example, TP1 is at 5 pips, TP2 is at 10 pips, right? If I now enter a trade and press OK, as you can see, two positions have now been opened, one with a 5 pip TP and one with a 10 pip TP. So this makes it really easy to automatically enter trades with a set TP. I also have the option to split risk between all of the take profits. So for example, if I'm using 1% risk and I want to set 2 take profits, that will split the risk to 0.5% each position, right? So let's get out of this. So next up, we have the stat tab. And here you just get a very quick overview of your account and the different metrics behind it. But let's now move on to the settings tab. I'm not going to go through every single setting, but I do want to just show you a couple that I think are important. If we open up all the settings, right, one of the key things here is split orders if the lot size is above the max lot. So for example, if your max lots that you can open is 1 lot, let's say, so we enter 1 here. Now, if you were to open a 3 lot position, it will get split into a maximum of 1 lot each position. So for example, if I change this to 3 and now I go to open up a trade, it will automatically open 3 trades at a maximum of 1 lot each. And that is because it is respecting the maximum lot size. So next up, we have the trade management settings. And here you can choose to modify all the stop losses together or all of the TPs together. So for example, if I tick modify all TPs together, when I change a TP for one position, it will change the TP for all of the other positions. So this makes it, again, very easy to manage trades from just doing one action. Next up, we have the mobile trades. And this is very good when you want to enter trades from your mobile phone and you want that risk managed automatically. So how does it work? If you enable mobile trades and you enter at the minimum lot size and your trade has a stop loss, then it will automatically be recalculated with the risk that you have set inside of the trade tab. So that is really good for when you want to enter on your mobile. You don't have to worry about lot size, use minimum lots, set a stop loss, and it will automatically get recalculated and put at the risk that you want. So that is really, really good feature for you trading when you're on the go. So next up, we have virtual stop loss and take profit settings. Now this is really good when you don't want your broker to know where your stop loss or your take profit is. So if you enable this, as you can see, all the trades I have open, they will now appear in the list. The stop loss and take profit will be here. But if you take a look down in the terminal, you will notice that there is no stop loss or take profit. So this is a way where you can hide your stop loss and take profit from the broker. Now just keep in mind that once again, you need to have the trade manager running at all times. Otherwise, these trades will not be closed when they reach the levels that are set in here. Okay, so virtual stop loss or take profit, that may be something that interests you. And lastly, like I mentioned before, we have hotkeys and shortcuts. So you can assign different actions like entering trades or pulling up the risk to reward tool or switching from, buy limits to buy stops, all from different shortcuts. So that's how I enter trade. So for example, once again, I'll just press R on my keyboard. I will move where I want, and then I'll press T on my keyboard, and that will enter the trade for me very, very quickly. So guys, that is a quick breakdown of the Trade Manager. Like I said, the link will be down in the description if it's something that interests you. If you are someone who is serious about your risk management, you want to make your life easier trading on MT4, MT5, or you're someone who's going through prop firm challenges, then you need to make sure that you have a Trade Manager. So go ahead, check out the link in the description, and until the next one, guys, I will speak with you soon.